Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda, and if you're new here on my channel, I usually talk about Japanese movies, dramas, entertainment. Sometimes I tap into other Asian pop culture topics as well, and today is just one of those days. We're gonna be talking about the P-pop group BINI and their song Karera. Now, I did a reaction video for their Pantropiko performance video a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago, and some of the comments that really stood out from that video is this song called Karera that people are recommending to me as well, saying that it really displays their vocal and dance prowess, also saying that the song has a really nice meaning to it, that the group incorporated sign language in the music video, all these other things. And I figured, you know what, if people are recommending it and saying these nice things about it, then I want to check it out. Now, before I start talking about the music video, let's just tap into that fan merch issue just for a quick sec. So I saw the lightstick as well, and as someone who also loves collecting pen lights, so we call them pen lights in J-pop, like if you're a J-pop fan you call them pen lights. For K-pop it's lightstick. I also collect these types of things. Now this is from the same group, and I have like a couple more. I think I'll just flash photos of the stuff that I have. So I know how important it is when it comes to just the idea of being a fan, of owning one, all these other things, and just the quality of it, the design, everything that pours into it. And that's why I fully understand why there was a bit of commotion when it comes to the design and the quality, especially given the price point of the BINI lightstick. Now, I don't know much about the context of whether or not they're planning to release a different one or anything like that, but I do understand the fan sentiment just reacting to how it looks like and the quality of it, etc. Like, as a fan, you're the one buying these merch in support of the group that you love, and therefore you definitely should have a say in the quality that you're getting, especially since they're also not under an indie or like a very small agency as well. Like, they are being managed by a big music agency, and therefore the quality should match what you're paying for and the resources that the company has. So yeah, as a pen light collector, I totally understand that entire fuss of why fans are like, you know. And there's this other thing about the photo cards as well. Like, I'm not particularly sure if the thing that I'm seeing on social media is the actual quality of the photo cards, but as someone who has co-organized fan events as well and has produced, you know, like fan-made material for these types of events, it's just quite interesting how some fan-made merch can look so much better. And maybe that's because, you know, like, I don't want to say that it's because like companies who are handling these types of groups are more focused on profit making and fans are doing it out of passion, but it's just kind of like weird to know like the actual price point of these merch from a fan perspective, trying to create these fan-made merch and then getting a certain type of quality for a higher price point just because they're official. So I don't know, like, that's just my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on this entire conundrum. But anyways, again, I don't know like the full context of it. I only got these information from what I'm seeing on social media, like the quality and the discourse that fans are saying about this. But that's just my 2 cents from an outsider perspective of that particular fandom, while also knowing the quality that I'm getting as a fan of like a different group with similar dynamics. So there. Now, with all that said, so let's actually finally move on to reacting to the music video. So again, we're going to be talking about Karera, the official music video from BINI. I love, again, I love their outfits. I love just the styling. I love how, and I think I've mentioned this in the Pantropiko video, I like how the way that they're doing the makeup of these girls are not westernized, in a way that, you know, you can see you can actually see like or guess their age range based off of the looks, as compared to, you know, like really bold makeup or whatever. I think, yeah, they definitely went for looks that complement the age and the looks of these girls, which is amazing. Oh. Okay, I kind of get it now. Like, there's just one comment which said that this is kind of like an inspiring song, and I think just from that first like couple of bars, couple of lines there, I can see that, you know, it's a reminder of pacing yourself in a manner that you're not chasing after something just because everyone else is dealing with these types of things. You don't have to catch up to anyone but yourself, which I think is really, really nice. Music wise, I do feel like that transition or that stanza was quite slow in terms of the build up. It's quite short in terms of the build up to what I assume is the chorus. I don't have any problems with it. It's just that I was kind of like surprised that that was the first stanza. I was hoping for it to build up a little bit more before the actual chorus. But yeah, don't have any problems at all. Just beat is very catchy. Okay, so that's basically like the message of it is life is not a race. So just go about it at your own pace, I guess, of that rhyme. But yeah, I think I really like that. Let's go back a little bit. I love, again, in contrast to Pantropiko, their outfits are very nice, very colorful, which matches the kind of like the vibe of the song that is very summery, very fun. This one has a lot, like, I like that it's just, you know, they're just wearing white, and it kind of like doesn't clash with just the visual effect of what the song is trying to convey as well. Because sometimes, you know how it is, if you focus too much on the fashion of something, people are fixating more on that than the actual message of the song. And I think it just has the right balance. Like, they're all very nicely dressed, glamorous. The costume isn't too plain for the presentation, but it also doesn't take away the attention from actually listening to the lyrics of the song. Choreography also doesn't take much away from, like, it's still very cute, that like pop girl group type of vibe, but again, it doesn't take away from, you know, what the song is trying to convey. Also, again, absolutely love their makeup here, not too overdone. They look fresh, pretty, youthful. I love that. And now, because they're not dancing and it's mostly like the kind of like the story part of the music video, that's when they started reincorporating the colors. And I think that's an amazing move. Like when it's part of the choreography, they're wearing these kind of like clean white outfits, so you kind of like focus on the choreography and the words, but not so much on like just the colorful, bright dynamics or elements of that particular part. But here, now that we're part of the story, it's a part of the storytelling as well. Like we get this like dim lighting and whatever, but then it's kind of like they're wearing color, but it's mostly just to add to the atmosphere of the song and how they're feeling. You know, they're wearing color, but they're also detaching themselves from the noise, from just everything else, and just trying to be at their own pace. And I think that idea of it really plays into how much costuming, planning, art direction also plays into the vibe and the feel of the song. And again, they changed the lighting for this one, like the mood. I like that for this, again, when I'm talking about the costumes, there's a sense of harmony in the costumes that they're wearing. So because of the warmer background, they shifted from the white costumes, which might look like a huge contrast between the mood of like just the scene in itself. But here they're wearing saturated outfits with the pink, the black, and still with the white, but just to provide that tiny bit of contrast and not mix them with a background. But it fits so well because, again, it's in consideration with the mood of the entire atmosphere of the song. Like, you still focus on the choreography and the lyrics of the song because the elements and the colors mesh well. So yeah, I feel like it would have been too distracting to have them in all white outfits, and then this particular background, like, it just wouldn't make so much sense story-wise or just visual-wise for it. So again, good choices when it comes to like the outfits, whatever. I also noticed that for this one, they chose colors that, like, for example, in the Pantropiko video, it's mostly very yellow, like, you know, the usual summery colors. For this one, they use bright colors like pink, even purple, but it's still within that kind of like calm, like a cool tone palette. Okay, I got what I was getting at now, like a cool tone palette, which again matches the vibe of the song, even if it's subtle, like they're not really telling you that this is what they're doing. But again, it's a cool tone palette matching the calmness or the vibe of the song itself. Whereas Pantropiko, it's summer, it's fun, whatever, so the usage of warm, brighter colors there. So again, it's all about creative direction. Can I just say, I haven't looked up who the lyricists are for this, but one thing that I always say when it comes to Filipino songs, Tagalog specifically, it's so hard to rhyme and to create like really nice pacing when it comes to creating lyrics with Tagalog, simply because sometimes, I'm not sure how to explain this in English, so I'll use a Filipino word for it. Like, sometimes it becomes hilahod when you like try to like fit something to rhyme or anything like that. So I've always admired Filipino rappers who put a lot of thought into their lyrics and actually make it sound really, really good and really, really nice without, again, messing up how the actual words are pronounced. So I really like that they incorporated rap in this, and it actually sounds good. So let's backtrack a bit. Like, again, probably one of my pet peeves just in general is hearing lyrics both in English and Filipino when something is pronounced in that manner. Again, I couldn't remember if there's a word for hilahod, but for people who know, you know, like for example, mispronouncing yeah, something like that. Like, it sounds different from how it's supposed to be said when saying it syllabically. I think that's the best that I can come up with in terms of explaining that. So again, there's a lot of difficulty, not just in creating lyrics for Filipino songs, but also making that into a rap. So yeah. And again, the lyrics make sense. Like, it rhymes, makes sense, which I absolutely enjoy. I love that. And again, it's pretty straightforward. I don't have issues with songs that use repetitive stanzas or lines or whatever. Like, for choruses, obviously, it makes a lot of sense to have, like, repeat the lyrics and all that. But when it comes to refrains or bridges or whatever, if you keep repeating it, usually it either just goes different, like, two ways. You get so tired of it to the point that, you know, you feel like they just got lazy with the lyrics, or I know. But for this one, it works in a way that it just reinforces one particular message. They're not trying to make it complicated, which I enjoy, and it doesn't take away from the catchiness of the song. I also think that the intention wasn't to make it heavy, because this isn't a ballad, this is a pop song, but the message is still there. It's pretty straightforward. So again, for me, it's different when you're trying to make a point using a ballad versus a pop song. And I think, like, for a pop song, the repetitiveness of it, while still making it fun and preppy, is fine. So, yeah. I also like that, like, even for the drama parts of the music video, they didn't make it into, like, actual skits, like caricatures of a scene or whatever. Because I think, like, I'm not sure about their acting skills or something like that, but there are times in music videos where you want to make a point and you make it dramatic and you kind of, like, force artists to act. And it comes across as tacky and cheesy or whatever. So I like that they still made it natural in the way that, you know, they played off with some symbolisms, again, with easy to understand narratives. Like, there's this one girl, she was doing her own thing, and then two other girls come into the room and she kind of, like, shoos them away. It's so easy to understand without necessarily them going lengths for the dramatics to create a scene, to convey the message. It's just so easy and natural, and it doesn't really, like, force too much acting into it. So yeah, again, it's all about creative direction and the way that the scenes are being balanced out from the mood of the song, which is, again, a pop song. And when it comes to vocals, so again, I've said this in the Pantropiko video, nothing to expect less from Filipino artists, just in general. And again, just the effort of making the lines rhyme. I love it when artists do that. Not just Filipino artists, but just artists in general. Because nowadays, we've been getting songs that just don't rhyme at all. And sometimes you can forgive it, but sometimes it just makes for a different impact when you hear a song and it actually rhymes. And you just know that it came from poetry to a lyric to becoming a song. And I don't know, I just enjoy that a lot. I just have a question though. I think we're almost at the end of the video. Okay, I just have one thing, like one question. What was the connection of the intro of them seemingly being stuck in an island? Or was it a metaphor for the idea of feeling stuck when you're trying to chase after something? Because that's the only, like, I don't know, like, it just made me think, because this, like, the music video has a story. So and again, I didn't look it up prior to reacting to this. This is my first time watching this music video. So I'm not sure if that was the metaphor for that, is, you know, them kind of like being in that island, the idea of being stuck in an island, and then eventually they find this house and make it their own, which is symbolic of the message of the song, that you don't have to like feel stuck in a certain way and you can just make it your own. Like, I don't know, but that's probably like my interpretation of it. But otherwise, I just feel like that part's a little off, or they kind of like forgotten about that part, at least watching just the entire thing. But I don't know, like, that's just my impression of it. I do like the music video. I get what people mean when it's inspiring. It's pretty straightforward. Didn't make any complicated stuff about, you know, the message that they're trying to convey. I like that it's less choreo heavy as well. Like, I think the point of the video wasn't to make it viral in a sense that it's viral, that people are copying the dance moves as compared to Pantropiko and Salamin Salamin. Because again, the point of, and I'm not sure, like, has this gone viral as well in terms of like a dance challenge? Because I don't think it entered my radar already. I'm more familiar with like the other two songs being like turned into dance challenges or dance covers. But anyways, I do feel like the focus of the song isn't that, and I like that they didn't make it into a dance or a choreography heavy song or music video, simply because the message is much more effective in kind of like the skits and the story that they went with for this music video. So yeah, I'm not sure as well if this has a performance video. I haven't checked, because again, I just wanted to check like the official music video as recommended by the people from the previous Pantropiko video. So yeah. Now, with all that said, so again, I really love that people are finally re-embracing the Filipino music scene once again. I know that we've had like moments where it's coming back, some groups, bands, and then it kind of like fluctuates a bit because of, I don't know, issues with the bands or their music kind of like being stagnant or whatever. But now with the P-pop scene, it seems like people are finally embracing it again, because it falls into a more, I don't know, modern and new wave of music that again still falls under the bigger umbrella of OPM, which I think is super amazing. And again, if we can spend our money on foreign acts and foreign groups, it's really exciting that now some people are also pouring some support for local groups as well. that's basically my 2 cents on it. As usual, if you have any other recommendations, any other thoughts, whatever, you can just put them down in the comments below. Let's talk it out. You can also like educate me on other happenings in the P-pop scene nowadays that I probably don't know about, because again, I just come and go with the information that I've been seeing in socials as well. I am really not at that age to like keep up with so many other things unless it's recommended to me. So if you want something on my radar, then I'm happy to receive any recommendations. But yeah, if you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon in a new one. Bye!